If ever your life could be a true crime podcast episode, then this podcast is for you. We're about to embark on a roller coaster of emotions, insights, survival, and stories about escape. So buckle up and let the journey begin.
Hello, and welcome to this edition of the Escape Pod.
Charity's taking over my job of introducing.
Julie's had a rough morning, so trying to alleviate as much of the burden off of her as possible.
Hey, thanks.
Hi, Julie. How are you today?
Oh, I am okay. How are you?
I'm good.
All
We're going to be doing better after this because we have an episode for you today.
It's a funny one, I'm told.
Well, back by popular demand, we have Chad Ratigan in the studio. Say hi, Chad.
Hello.
Woo-woo!
Okay, so true story. A friend of mine said, I feel like I'm hanging out with you all the time because she listens to the podcast regularly. And then she's like, and that Chad guy, like, can you get him to read a bedtime story for us on the podcast? That is not what we're doing today, but we are thinking about it.
I'm in.
You just have that voice and people are enjoying your content. So
Really, until you told me that story, I don't think I recognized, like, you do have a very, like, soothing timbre.
he does. Even when he's presenting, it's just kind of like it's not mellow in a monotone, like,
No.
please hurry the hell up kind of way.
Right.
It's just, it's soothing and I don't know. And yeah, this is why he makes a good supervisor.
So you are one of our most popular podcast guests. Did you know that?
I did not. It's a lot of pressure.
No pressure.
It's all downhill from here.
We're happy to have you here. So we start out every time talking about what we're escaping from.
I'll go last because I have a long one.
You have a long one?
Yeah, what are you escaping today?
I am escaping, funerals for the
15th
literally the
time?
9th time in like a
9th.
year and a half. It really was. But it
Too
was
much.
lovely and it was a wonderful celebration of a friend's life. But yeah, we've talked about this before. I've been to a lot of funerals this year. Also, and I'm going to preface this one by saying I like tourists. I came from a tourist town. I like people who want to come to the beautiful Black Hills and visit us. I like you.
And leave all their
Keep
money.
coming. But if you could carpool so there's less tourist traffic, that would be ideal.
Or also blinkers.
And if you could use your blinker.
Those are cool.
Am I wrong? The traffic exploded this last week.
It's not just that, it's that our population is exploding
Yeah.
too. Like we're getting hit from both sides. So it's definitely going to be an adventure for City Hall and Public Works trying to figure out how it's growing at a rate. Our community is way beyond what the comprehensive plan laid out. So it's
Right.
definitely going to be creating some challenges.
And add to that construction in a couple key areas.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not very often in little old Rapid City, South Dakota, that you have like traffic backed up through intersections. But I was like 15 minutes later getting to campus today solely because like I had to wait through a light because I couldn't go anywhere, And so, so keep coming. But again, if you could do it in as few cars as possible, that would be great.
And also support OneHeart.
Yeah.
Hey,
There you go.
we're
All right.
creating the new kind of tourism.
Chadwick, what are you escaping today?
I don't know if I'm escaping anything today other than work. Thanks for letting me be here, Charity.
You're welcome.
But I recently escaped it was a Hurricane Beryl.
Wow.
Yeah. Just got back from Dominican Republic, so don't really feel like I have too much to complain about. Haven't seen the traffic. And, so glad to be back in Rapid with the tourists.
So Charity escaped tornadoes earlier this year. Chad escaped a hurricane. I mean, for landlocked South Dakota,
Well, we've been
that's what vacations do to you.
hail every week.
Okay, I did not escape the
This
hail.
has been the longest hail season ever here.
I have a broken windshield. Did
do
you
too.
not know that?
No, I did
Yeah.
not know that. After the run?
Like a week and a half ago.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your
it was-
car is just like,
like-
listen.
it's cursed.
Both of our
Listen, I'm
vehicles
done.
were out of the city, so there's a sign from God that the old electric car
Gee, I was just
broke
going to say, why were both of your cars out of the city, Chad?
Yeah, my wife's e-car did not have the correct charger in Lusk, Wyoming.
Oh, no.
So we had to have some friends. Thank goodness we have really, really great friends. They went and grabbed my truck and drove it to Lusk. And then our other friends let us borrow their car. So we left them at a bar in Lusk and said, I promise my friends will be here with my truck. So we had to get on an international
Well, hey,
flight.
at least you left him at a bar.
Exactly.
That was super thoughtful of you. But that's the only thing there is in Lusk, right? There's like an outhouse and a bar.
Yeah, there's a couple of different bars in
Yeah.
Main Street. They have a Subway.
No, I'm just kidding. Lusk is lovely.
It is. So both of our vehicles were out of town when the storm hit. So
They do have a hotel or two, because I did actually, in all my time going back and forth in college to Colorado, one time after college, only once have I been stuck halfway, and I was stuck in Lusk.
Oh, yeah.
I was in whiteout-like conditions, and I got there, and I'm like, I am not going any farther. That is ridiculous. I will spend the night and spend the money.
Vending machine camping.
Yeah, pretty much. It worked just fine. I got home safely the next day with no problems.
Yeah.
All right, your turn, Charity.
Bugs.
Bugs? Where? Tell me where. Please don't say here. Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Digital bugs.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we haven't talked about this yet on the podcast, but OneHeart is developing an employment platform to rival all the other stuff out there and fix all the issues. And we really want to test it out, and we just keep finding bugs.
Yeah.
And I think the frustrating thing is you pay all this money to develop a product, and you have to pay them more money to fix the bugs that they create when they so that just doesn't make sense to me. Like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to back my work.
Right.
So it's just really frustrating, especially being a nonprofit. But hopefully this tool will be amazing. It looks great.
Yeah.
The features that will fix the things that are, the deficiencies in current systems are going to be fantastic.
Correct.
It's just getting it debugged so that we can start beta testing and then launch it. And we're doing all of this in a very out-of-the-box effort to sustain OneHeart, because we're slaying it over here and the money's drying up, and we need to be able to support the people. The need is increasing, and so we're really going out on a limb here. But
We do everything out of the box.
we do everything out of the box, and it has paid off so far. We're hoping that we stay the course on this one. But yeah, so bugs.
Okay. I was afraid there were some creepy crawlers someplace that were going to get me.
No. We're all good.
we're gonna have
Although
a
I did
circus.
see in our bathroom, our executive bathroom yesterday, I got it. But this bright orange spider, like bright red orange spider, I've never seen anything like it outside of like Hawaii or something. And it was fast, right across the floor. So I had like sandals on, like lows, and I'm like, oh my God, it's going to get on my toes. Anyway, I did get it. I smushed it. I try to relocate them, but that one just looked like it was going to kill me. So it is no longer among the living.
Okay. Well, thank you
Yeah,
for doing that for
you're
the
welcome.
rest of us.
I had you in mind.
Okay, so from out of the box to out of left field,
Great segue, Julie.
We talk on this
Great
podcast about people in crisis mode, survival mode. We often call it crisis brain. Sometimes, as they're working to escape the situations they're in, they say funny things. And so that's why Chad's here. If you didn't know already, Chad is the transformation director here at OneHeart. And so he oversees all the direct services that we have to offer here, which is a lot. He has a huge job. And it's a hard job. It's a very challenging job. And we often say that old cliche, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. So today we're going to laugh at some of the funny things that have come into the offices here at OneHeart. All right. I don't know where we're starting. I haven't seen these in a long time.
Just a quick disclaimer. We are not sharing these anecdotes in a way to demean or have anyone think negatively about any of our guests. Of course, all of these are anonymous. It's really just to show the unexpected things that happen that you can find humor in order to be able to sustain the work that we do, because it can be really difficult. So many of our guests have been significantly traumatized, and they're just operating on a different plane than we might be. And so when we say out of left field, it really does catch us off guard sometimes. And we have to be able to laugh along, even if some things are shocking, because that's really the only way we can insulate ourselves against that vicarious trauma effect. So our staff are really good at it. They're very, very understanding of where our guests are coming from. But these are some of the little nuggets Chad's collected over the last half a year or so. There's never a shortage, but it was kind of funny because he'll make these comments like, "Hey, I just heard this one today." Like, why don't you collect those and we'll do an episode on it, because we're getting to that point where we could use a good laugh, and yeah.
I love it.
So, and everybody loves Chad.
I mean,
so this is bound to be hilarious.
Before we do that, can I tell you something? I'll kick it off with something funny my 9-year-old said last night that's OneHeart related. So I made dinner. A lot of times my husband makes dinner. He's a very good cook. And if he's home, he will make dinner. But last night I made dinner. I was craving enchiladas. I thought they turned out great. And so after we'd eaten, I said, well, I don't mean to brag, but I think those were kind of awesome. And, my family said, yeah. And then my 9-year-old goes, could your chef at OneHeart have made them better? And I said,
shout out Chef Sarah.
Probably. I texted that to her last night and she's like, oh, I bet they were awesome. And I'm like, yes, but valid point. He has. But it was so fun. He was like, but could your chef have made them better? It's like,
well, I can let you move into OneHeart, little guy.
Right.
And then let's.
I can give you away and you can eat her food
Yeah.
all the time. No,
Yeah.
just kidding. But she is kind of awesome. And yes,
She's
her
amazing.
enchiladas probably are better than mine, but mine weren't so bad. All right, Chadwick,
All right.
you're up.
All right.
Let's
Hit
go.
it out of the park, man.
Your transitions are so good today, Julie. Fire.
I try.
Yeah, so like Charity was saying, some of these are just little nuggets that we've gotten from some guests. And it's a thing to keep in mind is, professionally speaking, when people say these things, we as professionals have to try to keep a straight face. We don't have to do that here in the studio, which is kind of nice. But trying to work through some of these has been a little difficult. when
Our
it happens.
team is really good at holding it together until it is safe to not any longer hold it together. So
Correct.
Correct.
All right. So the first one we have is a guest left the towers to go to the gym and loudly said, "I'm going to go get high," and then had to explain to another horrified guest sitting in the lobby what he meant.
Endorphins. We're talking endorphins.
Yes.
And that's my fault because of orientation. I teach them about happy brain chemicals
Yeah.
and the things they can do to help their brains along naturally,
Right.
rather than relying on substances, because it is a clean and sober campus. And so that really cracks me up.
And we do have people who have been very honest about, like, I had to fill the void that maybe an addiction left behind, right? And so, like, time that I used to spend looking to get high on illegal substances, now I spend, working out or finding healthy foods or whatever that is. So
Feeding
yeah,
my
it's-
mind,
yeah.
reading books, whatever. But so I love that. I'm going to go get high.
And immediately explain.
I get high every morning, baby. Exercise.
Yes. Life safety, who I think we've talked about on the podcast, works very closely with all of our guests. Very closely, as you'll see from some of these. So a guest told one of our life safeties that you have dirt on your ass, and then proceeded to brush it off with their hand.
Oh, no.
It's like that motherly instinct, right? Like, oh no, this is out of place. Or OCD, like you just have to go brush it off.
What did the life safety person do?
They just stood there in shock.
Boundaries,
Like-
boundaries.
Yeah, and then they said,
No touchy.
"Please don't touch me." And then we had to have a conversation with the person because they did have boundary issues.
Okay.
There you go.
Yes.
Well, a good learning
Life
moment,
lesson.
teachable moment. So
Yes. This next one is also from life safety. So a guest was leaving the kiosk with her baby when another guest left the towers. That guest said to the life safety at the kiosk, as the other guest was leaving, they had their kids with them. And we know every adult, every parent allows their kid to dress differently, whether we agree with that or not.
Correct.
And this guest told Life Safety, I would beat the shit out of baby's name before I let her dress like that. I'm not raising a hoochie mama.
Ouch. That would be in the category of opinions you keep to yourself.
Yes.
How old was this baby?
Oh gosh, she's like a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Filter.
I don't think I've ever seen a baby that looks like a hoochie mama. So were we overreacting?
No, so the girl that she was referencing was probably, I think, 10. And so,
Oh, okay.
yeah, she was saying I would never let my daughter.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. And of course, we had a discussion about keep your inside thoughts on the inside. And let's not do that. So,
Which, to be fair, lots of people need that advice in our world today.
Well, also like a good lesson on judging, right? Like there's enough judgment out there. I remember, I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, but story about, I've talked about some of my church adventures, and I won't name the church, but one very close to where this campus sits. I went to, this was my grandmother's church after before she passed. And so my mom's like, hey, we're going to start going to church. I'm like, cool. So we went to Salvation Army, picked out what we could for, as dressed up churchy clothes as we could get. And nowadays it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal, but I remember like the only dress I could find was this garish yellow, which does not look good on me at all, with like a cutout. A cutout either in the front or the back. I don't remember. And the looks that I got at that church were so judgmental. I said, F this. I'm done. I'm done. So it's just like, this is the best I could do. Go screw yourselves. You know what I mean? So
She did keep that inside, though.
I did not say it
out
to
loud.
the people that
Right.
were staring at me like I was a hoochie mama. So, yeah.
All right, what's next?
so again, life safety. So anytime a guest moves in or they come in with bags, we always search them to make sure there's no contraband. So we had a guest come in with some bags. They were searched, and some adult items were found. And the guest was embarrassed, panicked, and said, oh, those are my friends. I'm just holding them for them while they're in jail.
Hey, maybe they have really good friends like you have really good friends who take your car to another state for you.
Yeah.
Oh, no
mean-
comment.
Yeah.
All righty.
And like, okay, it's just like anytime cops bust somebody with drugs or whatever, it's not mine.
Mm-hmm.
It's my friend's.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So that extends to sex toys too
Yes. Yes.
and other adult items. All right. Gotcha. Good to know.
This one was actually a care coordinator. We had a care coordinator who was out on emergency medical leave. And when she got back, a guest was inquiring about their absence. Where have you been? And kind of gave a vague explanation that she had a medical procedure. And the guest then stated, it's because you got breast implants, isn't it?
That's awesome.
Hey, that might be something you ask your girlfriend. We are in a professional setting. How'd she navigate that and keep a straight face?
Basically, it's not an appropriate question. I was just out on medical leave, and they were like, breast implants. Got it. It's just,
Wow.
oh, man. Yep. So another CC. So we do benefits assessments, and one of the benefits we ask about is SNAP, right? Are you on SNAP? Mm-hmm. And
So SNAP is food stamps, if
Yep.
people don't know.
Yeah,
That's
sorry.
What we're,
EBT, debit card.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So the CC asked the guest if they have SNAP, and the guest was very confused and said, "Are you asking for my Snapchat?"
Oh,
Well, hey, at least that guest was like, I don't know if I'm comfortable with this. So that was good. But I also think, just as a little sidebar here, when they went to putting it on a debit card as opposed to the paper food stamps that was so. Everyone is staring at you in the line. It was so embarrassing to have to use those for me. I mean, I know this personally, so I just think it is so much. There's so much more dignity to the way it's done now.
Well, it's wild because I remember food stamps, actual stamps back in the day.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't.
That's what
believe,
I'm talking about. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Little packet of vouchers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actual
Totally
little
sucked.
stamps.
WIC was like that too.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, during an enrollment, we had a guest who stopped the enrollment and was unable to continue. And when we asked why, they said I had an accident in my pants.
Oh.
And so we had to change the way that we did our process and let people know, hey, if you have to use the restroom during this process, please let us know, because our enrollment process can be kind of lengthy. So letting people
and
know.
they felt like they couldn't speak up.
They didn't want to miss the opportunity and leave.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yeah. So just, but just out of right field. And it was out of right field for me too. Chad, somebody peed in my office chair. I was like, I never thought I would hear that. But
Well,
Yet
that's
here we
another
are.
thing to speak to why we definitely wanted a medical facility on our campus. Mm-hmm. Because so many of the people we serve, while they may be Medicaid eligible, they aren't always plugged into those systems. Mm-hmm. And when you're living a high crisis lifestyle, things like basic health care to prevent something that's a small issue from becoming a big or chronic issue just goes by the wayside because I'm in that now. I have to deal with this crisis that's in front of me now. And then the health issue turns into a crisis. Mm-hmm. So it was really, really important. So shout out Complete Health for being on our campus and serving our guests in that way because it is, it's just really important to get those things handled.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Baby wipes, wet wipes, not great for plumbing.
Oh, no. I know.
Personal wipes, yeah.
Personal wipes, whatever they may be.
I heard there's like dude wipes now.
Yeah.
I'm like,
There are.
wow.
Still not good for plumbing.
No. Also, not don't flush.
Yeah,
they
don't
may say flushable.
They're not, they are flushable, but they'll cause oodles of damage.
Yes.
Oodles. So just because they say it on the package doesn't mean you should actually flush them.
Correct. So we have let our guests know those are no longer allowed on campus because we had a bunch of people,
Yeah.
doing all that, flushing those things. And one of our guests said, I don't agree with toilet paper.
Oh, when I read this the first time, okay, I heard that wrong. So, oh, wow, okay. I get it now. Well, that's what you gotta use.
Yes.
So what kinds of things have we had people flush?
Oh, all kinds of things. The wipes, maybe a diaper or two.
Aw.
Clothes.
Feminine products, clothes,
Yeah,
right?
feminine
Paper
products.
towels.
Yeah, paper towels, washcloths.
It's like, I don't want to take my garbage out, so I'm going to see how much I can get down the actual toilet.
Yep.
And we just don't have the money to deal with the consequences of that. So
And then kids also be flushing just wild things.
Toys.
Toys, yeah, mainly.
Yeah.
A lot of toys, yeah. Action figures. So, yeah.
yeah, G.I. Joe needs to go scuba diving, right?
He does, yep.
Do they
Yeah.
even play with G.I. Joe anymore? I have no idea. Is that a thing?
I don't know. I'm hoping to find out when Asher gets a little bit older.
Okay.
Yeah, because then I'll be, we're playing with Legos right now, so I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
We're a big Lego house. Yeah.
Yep. During a pre-interview, one of our CCs, while answering one of the questions, one of the potential guests said out of the blue to our CC, "You look like a cop." It's the shoulders.
Was that Jesse? Oh, that's funny.
Okay. I can see it.
Someone saw Jesse walking across the campus and said, "Oh, Charity, there's your husband." I'm like, "Nope." That's my employee.
There's some similarities
There are.
there,
The color of the
especially
hair.
from
Haircut.
afar.
Yeah.
From afar.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
I wonder if that's because some of our guests know my husband, and I wonder if it's like he just.
Yeah.
That
Interesting.
is funny.
Yeah.
You look like a cop. Are you wired? What's going on? Okay.
Another time we had a guest who we were working on a discharge with, And the entire time we were working on this discharge, she refused to make eye contact, would just stare at the ceiling, anything but making eye contact, explaining when she could get another referral for a readmission date. And then out of nowhere, this person yelled, "This place sucks!" And she got out, got up and stormed out aggressively. And then about 30 minutes later, she asked if she could still come back.
Oh. Impulse control.
Well, a lot of times, too, when they're angry, they're angry with themselves.
Yeah.
But
they take it
sometimes
out on
it
Chad.
takes some, it takes some maturity and it takes some time for people to do that self-reflection and realize that they're the ones in control of where they're going to go in life, not us. We can't do it for them. So, and we have had, this has happened on multiple occasions. We've had people discharge. It's our fault. We're the bad guys. And then they have some time out on the streets and they realize this is what sucks.
Yeah.
OneHeart's pretty incredible. I want to go back. And then they do great. It's part of that learning curve. And we don't judge. We just laugh it off and document and, forgive. And then when they come back and if they're ready and they can demonstrate that they have changed their views, then we give it another go.
Yeah. Being a campus with 3 towers, we have rumors that sometimes will run rampant, and we always don't know where rumors come from.
It's me. This is what I do to entertain myself.
It is very entertaining.
Like a bad game of telephone.
Yeah.
See how far it can go.
Oh, yeah. And some of them are just absolutely wild.
If only I had the time.
But we had to send out a mass text message to all of our guests regarding rumors on campus. And one of our care coordinators immediately gets a phone call from their guests. And they were very sad and felt left out that no one had told them the rumor. And so they wanted to know what the rumor was. So they could feel
how
included.
juicy was this rumor?
It wasn't. It was. It was because if people, what was it? If people weren't like something about their plan, we were just going to discharge them that day. It was one of those. Like somebody had been discharged, so they made up a story, and we're like, everybody's getting discharged, and so everybody was panicking. That's normally the rumors go away by themselves.
Yeah.
But this one ramped up, and then out of left field, it was that OneHeart was going to be closing in a week.
Oh, jeez.
And it was like,
News to me.
I know, everybody was panicking, and I was like, okay, we got to just send out a message. And then this guest calls, was like, first of all, what was the rumor? Second of all, why was I left out? Nobody told me.
That's funny. Well, you're probably hanging out with the right people.
Yes.
If the rumor did not reach your ears. You should count that as a win.
Exactly.
So.
You're busy working.
Yeah.
It's fine. We had a guest. So guests hang out in our social area down in the men's tower. And in that area, there's computers. And sometimes, our towers are haunted and our building is haunted. Not sometimes. It's all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. But a computer turned on and logged in by itself.
Ooh.
Oh, logged in?
Well, it just turned on.
Okay.
It went to the login screen.
Oh, gotcha.
Didn't actually.
Okay. Great.
But
what?
yeah, one of the guests said that that's definitely a ghost, and she wanted to run, but she said, "Fuck it, I'm not leaving the guest that she was with because she's really big and pregnant,
Well, hey, she was going to,
That's a good friend
support
right
her
there.
friend. Yes, because, getting up those stairs, carrying a baby can be hard. So
Yeah, didn't want to leave her behind as a sacrifice.
I'll deal with the ghost.
Yep.
Well, that was really considerate
That
of
was
her.
very nice of her. Please don't leave me if you see a ghost or think one's around.
No,
Please.
I'll probably go try and pet it.
Pet the ghost?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. You say that, but I remember
I know, I'm a weenie.
you are a weenie. So like that, there was that time we were all doing something in the towers, and Chad was by, and I think it was the 3rd floor, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we know that room is empty, and he hears someone go, "Chad," and then he calls me, and he's like,
Are we almost done?
"Yeah." I'm like, "Your voice sounds weird. What's going on?" Something's talking to me.
Something keeps whispering my name.
Yeah, Chad.
Ooh.
Well, that room is is how every guest complains. There's always knocking on the wall in that specific room. And no matter how many times we smudge it, it's always keeps people up.
We need to actually do an exorcism or something.
Maybe.
So this might not be a Wanugi, right? How do you say demon in Lakota?
I don't know.
Is there a word for that? Or is it Wanugi kind of all the stuff?
Wanugi's more like spirits.
Okay.
That's what I know. Yeah. I don't know what demon is. I'm not that sacred.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Sorry.
Along.
Back. If you couldn't tell, Julie, I haven't taken my meds this afternoon.
Did you do that on purpose? Because I think you're funnier.
No, I forgot.
Everybody thinks it's funnier.
Yeah. Oh, so discharge, going through paperwork. So one of the things we have is a unit guarantee refund. And it can take, up to 2 weeks or longer, depending on our processes and what state the room is in. And so we had a guest that asked how long it was going to be. We let them know, and they texted back and said, well, forget about it then. I can't wait that long. And we're like, okay. And then 5 hours later, they texted back and said, scratch that. I need that money.
So what we do with unit guarantees, just so you know, people do not pay to be here on campus. They don't pay rent. They don't pay a program fee. Obviously, we have costs. The first 6 months or so that we were open, 5 or 6 months, that wasn't working. We were sustaining so much damage in our units that it was looking to be about $250,000 in remediation. And that's a really hard thing to fundraise for. Considering, and I tell our guests this too, like our new guests, not maybe every orientation, but I have at various orientations, that it was hard enough to get this community to understand that the people we're serving here on the OneHeart campus deserve a chance to rebuild their lives and live a life of purpose and intention. And they're worth that investment. And then when I have to go and try to raise money, like, well, someone was swinging from the refrigerator door because I thought that was a joyride or whatever. And that's just ridiculous things because they don't have any skin in the game. That was really causing us a lot of problems. And so talked to Chad about it, and he and his team came up with what we call a unit guarantee. So it's not it's similar to a deposit, but it's refundable. Yep. And I tell them, I want you to get every penny of this back. Just protect the asset. And that has fixed the high majority of the problems.
Well, and when I give tours of the campus to people who are curious about what's here, potential donors, existing donors, whatever the case may be, and what I often say is there's damage that's intentional and there's also damage that's completely unintentional. But if you spill juice on the carpet and you don't clean it up in a timely fashion, well, now 6 months later, we might have to replace the carpet. If you do it in a timely fashion, usually you can get it to a condition that's
right,
fine.
And we have equipment they can use,
and we have stuff they can use, and all of that. But so it's again just life skills for some people that they haven't lived in a place where they had to maintain this space themselves. And when that's the case, like this is part of why we operate the campus the way we do. Have inspections, have expectations that you'll keep the space clean, and that if you have a problem, like you got to tell somebody in a timely fashion so it can be dealt with before it's a bigger problem. Right. So that's something that all of us can take with you when you go live on your own, right? Is that kind of understanding of, ooh, there's a little problem. If I deal with it now, it might not be a bigger problem. And so that's, a lot of times it's not intentional things people do, but even unintentional things can be really expensive to fix if they're not dealt with in a timely fashion.
Well, the unit guarantees for the most part fixed the intentional stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Yep.
Fix the intentional stuff. And it's helping with the process that we take people through. It helps them become more responsible and knowledgeable renters. Yep. So when they leave here with the mindset, I need to protect and take care of the space I'm in, it makes them more desirable to landlords and helps them rebuild that relationship.
Yeah. Yep.
What's next?
Oh, one of my favorite ones, actually. Every once in a while I get bored and go work at the kiosk, as one does.
Which is our entrance to the towers.
Yes. And normally Life Safety does staff that, but I think we had a staff meeting, and whenever we have those, I'll go over there and sit and do the pat-downs and stuff. And I had just seen a guest who is very, rambunctious, and had seen her over at the main provider building, and then went over to the kiosk, and she walked in, and she said, "What are you doing over here?" And before I could answer, she said, "Ah, shit, you got demoted, huh?"
Actually, no, I got a promotion.
I was going to say it went the other way, if you want me to be honest.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What did you say to her?
Oh, I just laughed, and I said, I'm just covering over here, and every once in a while I like to make sure our processes are working, and this is how I learned how to do that. Mm-hmm. And she was like, sure.
Not buying it.
No.
That's funny.
Working the kiosk again, we had 2 young guests who I've had to talk with in the past.
So you were working it? This was you? Okay.
Yep. Not huge fans of me.
Aww. How
but
could they not be fans of you?
Because I have to reinforce the rules.
Right?
He's the dad. He's the campus dad.
Yeah. So I let them into, so they come in the first doors, and then they have to wait for the second door to be opened before they actually get into the towers. But as they are coming up, I can hear them saying, one of them says, "Shit, it's him. He's such a dick." Cool, though. And I go through, let them search their bags. And as I got done searching their bags, I said, just a heads up for next time. And I pointed out the door. I said, "These aren't soundproof." And they both looked at each other and said, "Damn," and they walked away. So, yeah, the doors are not soundproof.
Oh,
Yes.
so good.
Yes.
You roll with it and don't make them
No.
wrong for being young and
Yeah.
mouthy and having opinions about things.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Lippy.
yeah.
Yep. We did UA on someone, and we do random UAs just to make sure that people are staying clean, sober, protecting the environment that we've built. And unfortunately for this one, I came back hot for meth, cocaine, and marijuana.
Woof.
Yes. This guest looked me dead in the eyes and said, "I swear to God, hand on Bible, Chad, I did not smoke weed. I have no idea how that's showing up on the tests."
See, this is what meth does to you.
Oh.
You lost all perspective. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So did this person say what they did do? Like, did they?
Oh, they just admitted to the
Weren't
meth and
they
cocaine.
mad that? Yeah, they were mad, right?
Yeah, they were mad that the marijuana showed up. So, they had no idea.
That's kind of similar. I don't think you have it on this list, but the someone coming in for a pre-enrollment, and was it a pre-enrollment and requesting the old UA cups because they didn't test for fentanyl?
Yes.
Which is kind of a dead giveaway.
Yep.
Like, no, we're definitely going to use the new cups.
Now we're going to use that cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thanks for reminding us of why we are going to use the new cup.
Yes. And then also, this crap can kill you.
Yes.
Please stop. Please stop.
During an enrollment, we had a guest saying, and kept asking, "How serious are the searches here? How in-depth are the searches? How in-depth do they go?" The CC finally, during the enrollment, stopped and asked, "Why do you keep asking about searches? Are you concerned about us finding something?" And the enrollee said, "Yes." And the CC said, "What?" The enrollee leaned forward and whispered, "I have so many vibrators in one of those bags."
No.
Oh,
So good.
no comment.
How do you guys keep a straight face?
I don't He just said, "Okay," and just went back to typing. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Oh.
So, yeah. We had confiscated marijuana from a guest, trying to bring it into the towers. And upon their discharge, they said, "So, can I get my weed back?" Or,
We had someone ask that at heroin too, right? Yeah. Can I get that back? No, you cannot get that back.
That's a hard no.
That is a hard no for the hard drugs.
Hard drugs get a hard no.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, and this one was one of my personal favorites because it happened, I think, probably the first 3 months we were open. Guests came back clearly very intoxicated. And when we asked them if they were under the influence, they said, yep, I just wanted to see if I could get in. I turned around and walked back out.
I think one of my favorite ones was we were doing a staff happy hour. And I had another meeting, and then I was going to join happy hour. So Chad is sitting on one side of the pub. I'm sitting on the other, or he's in the middle of the pub. I'm on the side of the pub. So I didn't see this, but evidently we had an enrolled guest at the time or two that were on the other side of the bar drinking it up. And they didn't see Chad, but Chad saw them see me. And I guess that deer in headlights moment, turns around, hides the beer, finishes the beer.
Oh, he slid all the way down in his chair. Like he slid down in his chair. And then I saw him do this.
Guzzle,
Tips
guzzle,
the
guzzle.
mug,
Yep.
and then bail, and Chad calls kiosk, and sure enough, they came right back to the towers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah. I don't know how they missed me.
You do look different though when you are in your work clothes, and then as soon as you're off duty and the hat comes on and stuff, you do look. It gives a totally different persona vibe.
Yeah, if you had a hat on, I could
Yeah.
see them not realizing it was you, but otherwise, you look like Chad to me, regardless.
This is true.
He's a big guy, though. You're tough to miss, but
I know. That's what I'm saying.
they missed you.
All right. So sometimes, well, not sometimes, all the time, guests will get packages delivered, different essential items, different things like that to the towers. One of the things that we do from the CC perspective is just always make sure that they're spending their money wisely with their budgets, because they don't pay rent and stuff here. Their point is to work on debts and building for their future.
Build the savings, yeah.
Yes. But it turns out this guest was not buying these things. She said, I know I don't look like much, but I have a sugar daddy.
Oh.
So did we define that?
Yeah, she literally had a guy that whenever she needed something, she would put it in his Amazon cart, and he would mail it to her.
In exchange
Wow.
for what?
That's a great question because that person didn't live here. So I don't know.
Oh boy,
Yeah. Yep.
that worries me.
Yeah.
That might have
So-
been some video business.
I mean, we've had a guest with a video business. That was her main income.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Yeah. I found out after they moved out. I was like, oh, okay. Well, explains the noise complaints.
No comments.
Sorry, Julie.
Oh, Chad.
One day it was raining, and I was driving the minivan, and
I already know this one.
and the guest ran up and opened the door and said, it's shitting cats and dogs, Chad. I said, don't you mean it's raining cats and dogs? And they said, oh, that's the saying? Mine's cooler. So, that's how we'll reference it from now on.
That's a good one.
It is. Life safety. Was talking to a guest about working out and
Or getting high, as some people
yeah,
do.
getting high every day in the
Known
morning.
as, right.
Yeah. But they're talking about how they used to do 100 squats a day. And then guest said, damn, your ass must have been solid.
Did they reach out to test it out, like the swatting the dirt off your butt? Okay.
I think so.
Good. This guest knew some boundaries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, funny.
During another UA, routine UA, okay, a guest, because they're just casual conversations. What else do you do when you're getting a UA? Said to Life Safety that they used to sell their pee to people. And then Life Safety made a face and they said, oh, no. In the past. Not now.
Not now. Okay.
So, just clarified.
Is that like an Etsy shop? How does that work?
It might be.
How do you store this? Is it?
I'm going to have to look into that one so I can update my Etsy shop.
Ay, ay, ay.
Not with P. Okay. Sorry, that sounded bad.
Okay.
Oh, one of my favorite guests was talking about being in a meth house or a trap house, and how the longer you're there, you're bound to use, right? They're just not safe for people who are in recovery. But she said, you know the saying, hang around the barber shop, you're going to get your hair cut.
I love it.
And Cece
That's
was
like street wisdom.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. And she, a ton of it. This was the same guest that we were having a conversation talking to them, and we kept asking them how come their PTAC filter wasn't clean. We left it on the list every single time we did an inspection.
So for those of you who don't know, PTAC is like what you have in a hotel room for your heating and cooling in a hotel room. That's what we have in all of our units, which is a big pain, but that's what we have.
So the guests, we usually take them out once a month and clean them. And the guest said, wait, what? And we said, the PTAC. And she said, oh, my God, the PTAC filter. I thought you said P-trap filter. So she was literally taking the plumbing apart underneath the sink.
Every month.
Every month.
Clean out her P-trap.
And she was like, I was wondering how you guys knew it was dirty. That's something we look at.
I love her so much.
Yes. Yeah.
Aww.
A guest bought new gel insoles. And here's the thing, like if you guys haven't noticed, we talk to guests about everything, okay? Wide range of things.
Oh, everything, yeah.
Yeah, everything. So they got new gel insoles, and they're talking about how comfortable they were and how they helped them at work. And just without prompting, they said, my ass got fatter, so I have a lot more weight to hold up now.
Oh. I feel that in my soul, to be quite honest.
Well, I was driving when they said this.
Oh, no.
I had to do the old fake cough into the armpit. I felt crashing the car. So, and oddly enough, the other one is driving. Accidentally ran a red light. And I told Charity. And
He did. He came to my office. He's like, listen, this just happened. He's so honest.
but I literally ran this red light, and of course, I have a bunch of guests in there. And I said, oh, look at the director out here just getting away with crimes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Proof that nobody is perfect.
That is right. And then the final one here.
Oh, there's another one? Oh, you must have added some.
Yeah, just the last one that I was telling you about right before we got in here. We had a guest walk into the tower for a pat down, looked at our life safety right in the eyeballs, and said, I'm not even going to lie to you. There's a chicken strip in my bra. And then proceeded to pull out a chicken strip and a dipping sauce.
Wow. That's not one I've heard before.
Was there an explanation?
Keeping it warm. Maybe
No.
keeping it warm.
I
were
have
like-
a theory that
were
like
so caught
her
off guard, they didn't
hands
even
were
ask.
full. I think her hands were full, and she didn't want to throw away the chicken strip.
Yeah,
or drop
like
it.
get rid of the packaging or something and not have to deal with it. And then, like,
I
where
feel
am I going to
like
put
that's
this?
not that weird.
I know. I mean, I have girlfriends who put interesting things in their bra because they don't want to carry a purse, like credit cards
Yeah.
or money or lip gloss or,
Yeah.
just stuff.
That's fairly normal, though.
Drumstick?
Yeah, but like a whole
chicken strip?
whole drumstick.
I've not put lunch in there.
Just chicken wing,
Yeah.
hot dog and bologna. Chilling with my homies.
Oh, is that the end of your list?
The
Yeah.
end of the cleanish ones.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay for the bonus edition to hear the not safe for work ones. We'll wrap this up right after the break. Chad's with us here on the Escape Pod. Keep it here. Hey, listeners, did you know we are podcasting for a cause here in the Escape Pod? Patron support benefits the OneHeart campus in Rapid City, South Dakota, where we empower people to overcome crisis and achieve self-sustainability. To learn more, listen to our prologue episode all about OneHeart or visit oneheartrc.org. Welcome back into the Escape Pod. I'm Julie here with Charity, and we have a back by popular demand guest in the podcast studio with us today, Chadwick, our transformation director here on the OneHeart campus. He just shared some fun, generally harmless stories about funny things people say that come out of left field, and our very professionals on campus handle it all very well, take it all in stride, I'm sure. But they do give you a good laugh, especially when you look back on it later. I think like in the moment, it's probably more shock than laughter. But when you go back, because sometimes like Charity said at the beginning, Chad will like say something and we'll be like, where did that come from? And then he'll say, oh, a guest said that yesterday, like the Raining Cats and Dogs equivalent. That was really good. Anyway, so we're going to wrap things up on the Escape Pod for now. But before we do, what are you escaping to this week? Some place or something or some mindset where you would like to be? Chad, you just got back from vacation.
Yeah. So for me, it's just spend time with kids. It was really nice to see the littles. And, Asher's fully potty trained now, so that's we escaped diapers.
Awesome.
Yeah. So just spending more time with them tomorrow, I think, will be awesome, and hopefully we come back with all of our digits.
Tomorrow being the 4th of July and all.
Yes.
Ooh, you have to send me pictures.
All right,
this
Charity.
Kid of his gets this glint in his eye that is just, I'm going to mess you up. He is so cute.
He is, it'll both get him into and out of trouble.
They put him on the no-fly list.
This is why you left him here?
Yes.
Not taking him out of the country. Nope. He's going to get you in trouble.
Exactly.
You're going to end up in a foreign prison.
Yeah, that wouldn't be no good.
Yeah.
With a 3-year-old?
4. He's 4 now. Yeah.
Why is there a 4-year-old behind bars? Well,
it's his fault. He couldn't go in by himself, so I had to go with him.
Charity, where would you like to escape to?
Well, I would like to escape back to the Balcony Barn Boutique in Keystone. So shout out, one of our Escape Pod patrons has some shops in there, like Professor Samuel's, the Old Time Studio photo shoot. He's got a couple photo places there, and he just opened a boutique. And so we had dinner Saturday night and went. It was all closed, but we were having dinner outside of Keystone. I'm like, hey, I want to go see this shop. So he opened it up. I loved this shop. This skirt, see this? Super cute.
Oh.
Yeah, I got all kinds of stuff. It just kept like, I haven't shopped forever because I never go. And so I'm just going to give that boutique a shout out, and I want to go back. And if anyone wants to patronize that place because he's a patron of the podcast, then I think that'd be cool.
Do it.
Do it.
I think I'm escaping probably to a baseball game, America's favorite pastime.
I disagree with that.
Okay, well, that's the saying, and you're not going to change it.
I mean, have you? Okay, that is not America's favorite pastime.
Well, it's a pretty good pastime on a hot summer day, so that's probably one of the things that we will try to do in the long weekend ahead. So that's kind of the goal. All right. That's going to do it for this edition of the Escape Pod.
And if you want more of Chad and out of left field anecdotes, we are going to record another one that's going to be a bonus episode that is a little more...
Again, not safe for work.
Diabolical? No, what's the word?
I don't know what word.
Less sanitized. For a more eclectic listener.
Okay.
There we go.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We don't exist without you, so please keep listening. If you want to support us, please do check out our website at escapepod.live. Follow us on our socials. Reach out at justbecause at escapepod.live, or share your story of escape with us. We might use it on a future episode. To do that, escape artist at escapepod.live. Remember, we are a podcast with a cause, so ideally we'll generate some revenue that can be put back into the nonprofit OneHeart campus. We are closing the hatch on this edition of the Escape Pod. Remember, trauma may be inevitable. How you grapple with it is optional.
So stay resilient.
And keep laughing.
Thanks, everybody.